Hey guys, what's going on? Jamie here. Just wanted to do another quick video for Avarice. We'll go into the lobby. We'll also withdraw my BNB divs for today. This week is going to be a monstrous week. I'll probably have about 60 or 70 BNB that I'll be able to withdraw just this week alone. So it's pretty exciting. May not be too exciting for you, but it's definitely exciting here. So before I do that, guys, do want to remind you that I am not a financial advisor. Definitely not giving you any type of financial advice. You should do your own research, do your own due diligence. Everything you get into in crypto is risky, right? It carries some form of risk. So number one, you got to be okay with that. Maybe the potential to lose some of your funds or maybe even all of your funds. And number two, because of that, you should only be putting in risk capital, okay? Funds that you are okay losing. So real quick, let's go into this, and then I'll kind of give you some things to think about here. Again, I'm not the end all be all. I don't have the ultimate strategy on these things. In fact, a lot of times, strategy is based on, what's going on in the market, what's going on with the platform and what's going on in the Telegram. And lots of times strategies will change and evolve. There's not really one set way to do things and it's set in stone. Of course, as things evolve and things happen, you're constantly adjusting your strategy, right? So what I may talk about today, it may not be relevant down the road, or may not have been as relevant 30 days ago, but currently this is kind of my train of thought. And again, I'm not always right. Okay, so don't do what I'm doing. Figure out what works best for you, and apply those strategies with what you're doing. So that being said, yesterday was a great day to get in 240 BNB. Obviously, this is a pretty big holiday weekend for a lot of people, not only in the US, but in Canada. But you can see here 240 BNB. One BNB would have gotten you 10,658 tokens. In fact, I put in one BNB. That's what I got. I'm going to go ahead and collect that. And if you look at today's number, we're at 54 BNB right now. Today's the 4th of July. So I would imagine this number to be, if somewhere around this range, okay? Because we were doing great, kind of breaking 300, for about a week, and then obviously this holiday weekend it might dip a little bit, but those are buying opportunities. Those are opportunities to get in and snag up as much ABC tokens as you can, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get in. I'm basically putting in one BNB a day right now, right? Um, and then I kind of watch it. The cool thing about this platform is you can go into the lobby more than once a day. There's platforms where you have to enter on, you only get one chance to enter, so you can't really snipe, or you can't adjust your strategy throughout the day, or if you feel like you want to put a little bit more. This one here, you can put, typically I can put one BNB, and then I can watch it and see if I want to put in a little bit more. Like that's what I did over here, right? I put in one BNB, and then I came back in and took four more when I saw the number was relatively low. Right now, again, I think 243 BNB in this climate is still a high number, but compared to some of the other days, it made sense for me to throw it back in. Right, I probably should have done that here yesterday, but it's the holiday weekend, and I was running around, and I wasn't really paying too much attention. But I'm going to look at this a little bit today. I got to run around, obviously. Family coming over, this, that, and the other. But I'm going to try to watch this right here and see what the number is going to be. So I have about 13,000 tokens. Now I'm going to withdraw the BNB that I have, the divs, and it's going to release more tokens, right? The cool thing about it is you can restake your tokens. That's the only option you have at this point, because this is not on a DEX. They're not going to put it on a DEX. Because putting it on a DEX is what killed T2X. So I think they've learned from that. So people don't have a choice. They have to go back and restake the tokens. Okay. Now by restaking the tokens, they can collect more dividends. Obviously, there's going to be dilution there, right? So they have to go back and get more ABC tokens, new quote unquote ABC tokens from the lobby to kind of combat dilution. But yeah, what else can they do, right? So you can see here, today's day, well, yesterday was day 31. So I have this one right here, it's about 3 BNB. I think I have three. I have this one right here, which is 3 BNB. This one right here, which is about 0.3 BNB. And then I have here, which is about 2.25, give or take a little bit more. all in all, I think it's like 5 3/4. I didn't do the math, I'm just doing calculating it in my head. It's about 5 3/4 BNB, give or take. But more importantly than that, it frees up 94,000, almost 95,000 tokens on this one, 4,400 tokens on this one, 16,000 tokens on this one, and I can restake those, right? So let's go ahead and collect this real quick. And then I want to kind of take you through some of the info. Again, don't take this info as financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Just take it as like food for thought, right? Let's see. Okay. When did I think I collected this one. One collect this one. All right. Because I'll talk about, should you stake longer or should you stake shorter, right? 30-day stakes or 10 days. And the example I give what I'm going to show you here is, should I do 30-day stakes or should I do 10-day stakes, right? Now I have 30-day stakes. I'm going to show you here these 30-day stakes, right? But I also have shorter stakes, because again, I'm constantly just adjusting what I'm doing. There's nothing that I'm doing is set in stone. I'm kind of, based on how I feel, based on what I see, based on what's going on, I'm adjusting stuff all the time, right? And that's how I've just been operated. I've always been operating like that ever since I got into the crypto space. So a strategy that I might have 30 days ago may not be the strategy that I'm employing today, right? It all depends on what's happening. That being said, I do have 30-day stakes, right? I initiated these stakes early on, 11.891, 15.586, 13.836 BNB, 8 BNB. So this week, I have these that are coming to me, right? And then I have these shorter stakes that are set day 30. I have 2 day 32s right here, day 33, 34, 35, 36. Of course, this is going to continue to build for like another couple of days, right? So I have some shorter stakes, and then I have some of these longer stakes. So what makes more sense for you? Again, it's all about what makes sense for you, right? Obviously, someone who puts in, X amount of BNB versus someone who puts in less BNB, they might have a different strategy, right? That's why you have to kind of figure out what makes sense for you. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different risk tolerance. They're playing with a different budget. Some people are okay with, locking their funds in, not really locking their funds in, but you know what I mean, right? You put it in there for a longer period of time and just kind of letting it sit there. I'm okay with that. I have nothing wrong. I do both, right? At the end of the day, if you really want to put both together, you can have 30-day stakes, you can have 10-day stakes, and have kind of a combination going on. But I'll just give you the difference here, and then that way you can kind of weigh out what makes sense for you, right? So let's talk about the longer stakes real quick, right? Longer stakes allow you to continue. I don't need to make this. I don't have to make this big. You guys can see this here. So longer stakes allow you to continue to earn divs as long as you're staked. So for example, if you put in a 30-day stake, you're earning divs right now. Of course, the divs are going to be different, right? Depending on what's going on in the lobby. If the lobby is booming, divs are going to be more, right? If the lobby kind of plateaus a little bit and starts to decline, the divs are going to be a little bit less, but you will earn divs, right? So again, it'll allow you to earn divs as long as you're staked. So a 30-day stake, you'll be earning some days bigger, some days lesser, but you'll be earning for those entire 30 days. Will you ROI after those 30 days? I don't know, because there's no fixed percentage. We can't say yes you are or no you're not. It all depends on what's going on. If you got in at the beginning of this thing, if you put in divs, if you put in on day 1 through 5, or the first 5 days, I mean the stakes were paying out like 40%. So yeah, you could have ROI'd, right? Is it the same today? If you go in today with 5 days, you might not do that. So again, it all depends on, there's a lot of different factors, right? But generally speaking, the longer stakes allow you to continue to earn divs as long as you're staked. Number two, longer stakes give you bigger ABC bonus at the end of your stake. We all get bonuses, right? So for example, see the bonus right here? right? Like for example, this one right here, right? This is a 30-day stake that's going to come up. When I take this out, I'll get the BNB, I'll get the ABC tokens, but I'll get a bonus of 100 and almost 115 tokens, right? So the longer you stake, the bigger the bonus, right? So if that's something you're concerned about, longer stakes will give you bigger bonuses. But number three, you have to be okay with locking your funds in over a long period of time, right? So for example, if you're putting in BNB and you're staking them for, let's say, I'm just using 30 days, right? It could be, I could probably, probably a better example would be to exaggerate that number like 60 days or 90 days, just to kind of give you more of an exaggerated comparison. Because 30 days to me is not really that long, right? But in crypto, it might be long for people, right? So, but they lock in their funds for 30 days. And then what happens is, the ABC tokens that they purchased or that they got from the lobby is getting them some dividends, right? They can't withdraw. They can't take anything out from that. They have to wait till the 30 days is over. Once it's over, you get your dividends, you'll get your ABC tokens back. You'll get a bigger bonus, obviously, if you compared to if you stay shorter. But you have to be okay with locking your funds in over a long period of time. If you have let's say you have a big budget or a big stack of BNB, this might be something you might want to do. I don't know, right? But what if you're not playing with a big stack and you locked in all of your BNB? Now, to go back into the lobby, where are you going to get funds? Like, where are you going to get BNB? You've locked it all up for 30 days. I mean, unless you have like an unlimited source of BNB, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you have other platforms that you're pulling from to go into this. Again, everybody's different. Someone who doesn't have an endless amount of BNB or a constant flow of dividends from other platforms, maybe they only have X amount of BNB and they lock it up. And now they're just kind of sitting there twiddling their thumbs, waiting for the 30 days to end, right? You have to be okay with that if you do that. Now, this will make more sense once I show you this second slide right here, which will kind of give you a contrast to these longer stakes, right? So let's say you do a shorter stake. In this example, right? Or in this scenario, let's say we do 10-day stakes. You probably won't ROI with shorter stakes, right? Unless you got in at the beginning, but we're not at the beginning, right? So you probably won't ROI with shorter stakes on the initial stake term. So for example, you stake for 10 days, chances are you're not going to ROI it, but that's assuming you're only staking for 10 days. What are you going to do after those 10 days? You're just going to put the tokens back in your wallet and just watch them and not do anything with them? No, you're going to restake them. So that same batch of tokens is going to go back into the staking platform, and it's going to continue to earn. So instead of ROIing on one stake, you'll probably ROI, but it'll take you a multiple amount of 10-day stakes, right? Instead of one longer stake, I'm talking about doing with the same batch of tokens, several shorter stakes. It's the same. So for example, right, and I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but for example, instead of doing one 30-day stake, you can stake a 10-day stake, get your BNB, get your Avarice tokens, get your little bonus, stake it for another 10 days, right? After those 10 days, get your BNB, get your Avarice tokens, get your little bonus, right? Then stake it for another 30 days. So it's the same 30-day period, but instead of one 30-day stake, you have 3 10-day stakes, right? But doing that allows you to claim BNB along the way, so you can pull your seed capital out. You want to pull your seed capital out and go back into the lobby and get more ABC tokens. It's a way for you to compound, right? Because instead of just sitting there waiting for your 30 days to end, and yes, you'll have more BNB at the end of those 30 days, but who knows what the lobby is going to be doing at that point? Maybe the lobby's going to be booming at that point. And now you're like, holy crap, now the lobby's back to doing 1,000 BNB, and I'm going to go back in on these big days, right? It allows you during these smaller days to pull your BNB out, lock some, put some back in your wallet so you can pull your seed capital out. And I'll talk a little bit about that here in a second. But then you can take some of that BNB and put it back in the lobby and get in on these shorter days. Because again, you don't have an unlimited supply of BNB. So you got to get the BNB from somewhere. You might as well, use your dividends, right? Quick side note on pulling your seed capital out with every platform. If you followed my journey, and I've been on YouTube for a couple of years, some of you guys have followed me on this journey since 2017, 2016. Salute to you guys that have been with me for that long, right? But I've always, in any platform, okay, the main focus, the initial focus is to pull your seed capital out, right? And you might not be able to do it right away. It might be over a period of time, but you have to have a goal of pulling your seed capital out at some point and just having house money in the platform, right? Because if you do that, you've removed all the risk. Remember, I always say these things are risky, these platforms are risky. If you pull your seed capital out, you've pulled out all the risk. There's no risk. You're playing with profits only, right? If something, God forbid, happens, you have your initial that you put in back in your wallet. Yeah, it's gonna suck that something happens or something goes sideways, whatever. Not saying that's gonna happen. You never want to kind of have that happen, right? But you're not at a loss because you pulled, whatever you put in, you've already pulled back out, and you were just playing with profit, right? By doing these shorter stakes, you can pull seed capital out little by little along the way and go back into the lobby. Again, you might not agree with that, and that's fine because everybody's different. And I'm not telling you which one is better, okay? I'm not saying this longer is better than shorter, shorter is better than longer. Do what makes sense for you, okay? So here's the two different scenarios, right? You stake for 30 days. I know I have 3 here, but it's really 2, right? Stake for 30 days. You get more divs at the end of your 30 days compared to a shorter stake, right? And you get a bigger ABC bonus compared to a shorter stake at the end of those 30 days. Or you stake for 10 days, collect BNB divs at the end of 10 days, pull your capital out, go back into the lobby and get more ABC tokens while the days are low, and then restake the released ABC tokens. Because remember, when a stake matures, those ABC tokens that you stake go back into your wallet so you can restake them, right? So you restake those released ABC tokens and your new tokens that you got from the lobby, because you're going into the lobby again with your dividends, and stake for another 10 days and rinse and repeat 2 more times, right? So both scenarios, it's 30 days. One was a longer stake, you get more ROI, more dividends at the end, more bonus. The other one was still a 30-day time period, but you did it in 10-day, you know, you did 10, 10, and 10, right? Does that make sense? And then along the way, you were collecting BNB, pulling your seed capital out, throwing some BNB back into the lobby, restaking. Hope this makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I confused you even more. I apologize if I did that. But I'm just going to keep focusing on kind of my strategy, what's working for me. Got about 128,000 tokens here that I'm going to restake. But this is it's a solid platform, guys. These platforms like this that are solid with a real team that really wants it to go long, and they're constantly looking to improve and do things for the community. They're rare, right? They're rare. So this one here is rocking. And what's exciting is over the next, I would say, about a week and a half, they're going to be launching the BUSD lobby, right? Now the BNB lobby is still going to be running, but the BUSD lobby is going to be pretty awesome because there's a lot of little, I don't want to say improvements, because it's really nothing to improve with the BNB. It's working perfectly. Okay, as you can see here, it's paying out. It's paying out. Okay. But with the BUSD lobby, obviously, people are into BUSD. There's going to be a portion of that that's going to feed the BNB lobby. There's going to be a couple. I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about some of these things, so I'll probably just wait till they give the okay. But there's going to be a couple different things with the BNB with the BUSD lobby that's going to be monstrous, right? And again, the lending feature is going to be working on the BUSD platform, so that's going to be pretty exciting because there were people making some good coin on that lending side, right? I never got into it because I was trying to understand it, and before I got into it, they turned it off. But I will get into it on the BUSD side because it is a pretty solid moneymaker, aside from the lobby and the stake, of course. So anyway, if you want to check this out, I will leave a link down below. Use a referral link at all times so you get a 1% kickback, right? And yeah, do your own research, do your own due diligence. Follow me on Telegram, guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe with the little bell icon, all that good stuff, guys. All right, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.